Hey there guys, welcome back to another episode of Monster Super League. It's your boy Odin, and today I wanted to do a quick updated guide or review for the Garudas, who did end up getting their brand new Ultimate Evolution. And so I kind of wanted just to go over exactly, what is going on with his new event, what you guys can expect to see as far as what his new skills are, and pretty much just go over the event so you guys don't miss out on what's going on, and then obviously just highlight his new ultimate form and his skills as well. So the event that's up right now is essentially going to begin today, which is January 27th, and will essentially go all the way to I believe it's February 28th. So you guys have a whole month to complete all of the missions, all of the story. Yeah, let's just go ahead and check out and see what exactly he has. He is actually pretty... he did get a pretty nice buff for all of his typings. So I'm very excited to kind of like see him being used now a little bit more than before. I am also... I'm sitting in a couple of copies of him to get him to Evo 3. So I'll go over my box as well for what I have for him. But let's go ahead and start with the fire one. So again, this is just going to be an updated guide. I have done a Garuda guide before. If you want to check out that one from, 3 years ago, go ahead and check that out. But essentially, his skills were changed in the last 2 years. So this is going to be the updated guide for him since he got his Ultimate Evolution. So taking a look at his Ultimate Evolution, I do like the aesthetics of it. They did do a very good job of upgrading his model. He's definitely... crazy chicken for sure. So definitely make sure you pick him up. He does look very, very nice as well with the variant colors. You guys can basically take a look at him, but he almost looks like a Gundam. But anyways, the fire one is a defender type. I'm going to go ahead and just review the non-ultimate Evo form first. That way you guys can kind of see his base stats. Actually, you know what? Let's just do his ultimate Evo stats because they did buff him up pretty well. So the defender one comes in with 34,000 HP. 2,500 attack pretty much, 4,000 defense. So he has a pretty decent amount of defense for being a fire defender. His skills are going to be 100% chance to seal the enemy for 2 turns. 5-star skill is going to be stun for 1 turn, which can be scalable to 2 turns. And then the leader skill, of course, being critical boost, which gives you a higher chance to do crit rate, 20 to 25% depending on the level 1 through 5. Or 1 through 6, excuse me. 6 being the 25%, level 1 being 20%. And then the ultimate skill is aggression defense. When HP is at 50% or below, attack power becomes proportional to own max defense. So essentially, this skill is not going to be very, very useful for the fire one because it only works when his HP is at 50% or below. Which, if you're doing arenas, unless you're really close to death, you're not going to see that ultimate skill proc up. And then there's also the fact that, he's going to have that SP bar filled two times before you can use that ultimate skill. So, it's really not very good for the Fire Garuda in general. So I would say that he's probably going to be the worst out of them all. The seal is very, very nice. The boost in stats is very, very nice. But unfortunately, that ultimate skill is not going to be very usable to you guys in arenas and in a lot of the game content because most of the content itself will be done in like 2 or 3 turns. So unfortunately, they need to rework the Fire Garuda skills for sure. So there's that. But anyways, I do think that he did get a pretty nice buff for being the fire type. But over time, hopefully they'll change his skills a little bit, maybe give him something new, and he might be a little bit better. So that's it for the fire one. So let's go ahead and check out the water one. Same thing. I really like the aesthetic look of the water Garuda as well. Even the variant one looks really, really neat. Again, they did a really good job with the model. I just wish that they would have updated his skills to make him a little bit more useful. So the water one is an attacker type. He comes in with 27,437 HP, 4,000 attack, 3,200 defense, and 2,445 recovery. Again, the attack here really good, nice boost in stats. Yeah, his skills unfortunately are not going to be the best. So his 3-star skill is defense down, reduces reduces defense down or defense for 2 turns. 5-star skill is elemental edge. Attacks against any enemy are treated as that enemy's elemental weakness. What that means is that you're essentially having type advantage over a specific element. So, in general, if you were a water Astromon and you're going against a wood Astromon, you would not have that type advantage. So therefore, what Elemental Edge does is it allows you to essentially maintain that multiplier of advantage over the wood element. So, essentially wood has an advantage over water. Now you are making it so that you are almost a fire type attacking a woodmon. So it essentially just lets you kind of, rethink the way that the elements work. But unfortunately, Elemental Edge is not really the greatest skill to have, because it's useless against other water Astromon since he is water. So, really you're only going to get use out of it if you're using it against a fire, wood, light, and dark. So you're getting type advantage for all of them, but you're essentially losing one. So you're getting type advantage really over 4. So, yeah, really it comes down to what you really want to use him or where you want to use him. But I personally don't think he's going to be in too many other places, or useful in too many places. Maybe like you could use him in the Dimensional Dungeon or Dimensional Rift, but that's about it. The ultimate skill is Resistance Down, grants a 25 chance to reduce the enemy's resistance for 2 turns upon attacking an enemy suffering defense down status. So again, this ultimate skill is very heavily reliant on the enemy being or having defense down status, which does make it a little bit easier to use in arenas. But you're not going to be bringing in a water Garuda into arenas anytime soon. I would say that may be more useful in a place like Golems, when you're going up against the fire golem. Maybe like B13, I think, is the fire element for golems. But yeah, so it depends on where you want to take him. But I personally would not build him for everyday use. Like, you could use him to farm the story. His attack animation is pretty decently quick as well. But I don't think that he's going to be, your priority in building. He's going to be more of a trophy mon that just kind of sits in your box until you're ready to use him. So, all right. And then moving on to the best one out of the bunch, in my opinion, and of course, being the ultimate chicken that he is, I definitely think they did a good job with this ultimate skill here. So let's go ahead and just basically go over him. So the Wood Garuda is a balanced type. That is a shame. I really wish he was an attacker mon, but him being balanced means he has a little bit better defense, which makes him a lot more viable in Titans. He can also be used in the wood Apophis, the water Apophis for the weekend as well. Mainly only in the first sort, but again, if you've built one already for Titans, you can get a decent amount of use out of him in the wood Apophis. You can also use him in the water dimensional defense dungeon as well. So, there you go. You guys basically have another nice nuker to use in those dungeons as well. So, he does come in with 35,200 HP, almost 3,700 attack, and 3,000 defense. Again, they really cheaped out on his attack here, but overall, he does have a fairly decent amount of defense, being a balanced type again. Really, they focus more on survivability over anything else. Recovery, 2,400, nothing much bigger than it was on his normal form. If you look at his normal form or regular prior to the Ultimate Evo, he was at 2180, 2787 defense, and 3300 attack, and then 32,000 HP. So really all they did is they gave him almost a 10% boost in stats, which does bring him up a little bit better. But let's go ahead and talk about his skills. So the Wood Garuda has weakened, 70% chance to weaken an enemy for 2 turns. And then the 5-star skill is Courageous Strike. So if you don't already know, Courageous Strike is one of the most broken, skills you can have, because a lot of the bosses have a ton of HP, and your skills based on the amount of health pool that your enemy has is going to be really, really useful. And Courageous Strike is also very effective in arenas against HP aggressors, or just in general. A lot of those really tanky mon like the Light Odin nowadays, or the Light John. Just even the Dark Odin as well, or the Dark Arthur, really good skill to have. Even though it's on his 5-star skill, it's actually really good for him because that makes him very, very viable in Titans. So, The critical leader skill for the wood one is pretty much irrelevant. You don't really care if he has a leader skill. Mainly if you want to make him a variant, it's going to be for the aesthetic feel of it. But not really too much practicality out of that one. So the ultimate skill is Water Stalker, increases critical hit rate by 40% when attacking Water Astromon. So that's going to make him really, really good for the Water Titan. Again, really right now, the Water Titan is already, he's already basically a staple mon in the lineup against the Water Titan. If you have Wood Merlins, Wood Onmyoji, and a Wood Garuda, you already know you're going to be hitting close to 400 500 million max in damage. If you guys go back and watch my video of True Hero Luca hitting that hard in Titans, in the Water Titan, you'll know why. And the reason why is because essentially water has some of the wood element has some of the best courageous strikers and the best setup to deal damage to the Water Titan. So most of the records, or most of the higher damage, will be against the Water Titan. So, but this is the pretty much one of the better mons to build. As of course, you definitely want to build at least 2 of him for that Water Titan. When you skill book him, he does get 80% chance to do weekend for 3 turns, and that's exactly what you need for Titans. You want a skill that will last 3 turns. And you want it to be at least 80%, because that means you have 3 chances to get your weekend buff back up to essentially consistently maintain that weekend. So it makes him a really, really good mon for the Titan. And again, with the extra 10% boost in his skills, and then him having increased critical hit rate, means that you can basically just go straight out attack crit damage on him, and that's going to boost his damage by quite a decent amount. Because that Water Stalker, that ultimate skill, is essentially a given 40% chance to crit rate against Water Astromon. So if your Garuda has 50% chance to crit rate, an attack crit damage, that's totally okay, because when you go up against a Water Astromon or Water, Astromon, or any enemy, a Water Titan, whatever, you're going to have 90% chance to crit rate. So that makes them really, really useful in a lot of places, including Arena, the Dimensional Defense dungeons, the Golems, so you name it, you can definitely use them pretty much everywhere right now. So, and then of course his Trinket skills, or his Trinket set, gives you 10% boost to attack. So you're definitely going to be getting an extra 325 attack or so, 350. My math may be a little bit off there, but you should be getting close to 4,000 attack on the Wood Garuda. So again, really the best out of all the RGBs. So you definitely want to go ahead and build the wood one first. So that's my take on the Wood Garuda. Definitely a very good ultimate evolution for him. Of course, with him getting his ultimate evolution, it means they are going to be adding him to the Primo Festival, which, given the release dates right now, and I'm just going to back up out of here, we'll go into the notices again. His excuse me, I'm getting a little bit messed up here. The Clan Festival is going to end on the 8th, I believe, of this coming month, which essentially means that his Primo Festival might be occurring anywhere between the 10th or the 11th of this coming month. And let's go ahead and just take a look here when the actual Clan Festival is going to end, because it's starting in 3 days, so and it's going to go on until the 8th or the 9th. So I was kind of hoping I could see it in here. I know they posted it online on the Monster Super League page. Alright, so here we go. So January 28th through February 7th is when the Clan Festival will occur. So they're ending it literally only 9 days apart. Usually the Clan Festival goes on for 10 or 11 days, sometimes 12 or 13, but looks like they're ending it a little bit earlier. And so the next date that you'll see anything else is going to be during the Heroes Festival, which is not until the 17th of February. And so usually there's a 3-day period in which there's nothing between Primo Festival, Clan Festival, and Heroes Festival. So there's like a 3-day kind of grace period in which they kind of take a break and let your wallet cool down for those 3 days. So if I'm looking at these dates right, it looks like they might be doing his Primo Festival around February 10th. And then it will conclude around February 14th or 15th if they do it, you know, a 3-day period or a 4-day period. Primo festivals are usually a 3-day period, which that tells me that they're going to do the Primo Festival between February 9th or the 10th and then end it on the 12th or 13th, which if they do it on that date, I mean, that 3 more days or 4 more days, and it'll be the 17th for when the Heroes Festival will occur next. So that's kind of like your time period for when you can expect to see the Primo Festival for Garuda. So I recommend you guys start saving your gems right now. I myself, I'm definitely short on gems because I ended up going all the way on the last Heroes Festival, and then I'm having like really bad luck. I'll be uploading that video here today as well. But essentially, you know, you want to start saving your primos right now. And I know that they released all of these packages here. I don't recommend you guys to buy them unless unless you can actually afford it and want to contribute to the 430 or the Smart Study Fund and, you know, keep funding the game for everybody. But I don't think that anybody really needs to purchase these. I should have enough to get at least 18,000 or 17,000, I think is what you need to get to the first Light and Dark Egg. So that's what I'm going for. I'm only going for just one of the Garudas. I don't care whether it's light or dark, just mainly for the guide. But yeah, so let's go ahead and continue on with the review here. So the light one is a attacker type. He's coming in with 32,300 HP, 4,400 attack, so very high attack but very low defense. 3,000 or HP, I should say, and then 3,100 defense and 2,300 recovery. So if you don't already know, the Light Garuda is essentially just, I like to think of him as a slightly weaker version than the Light Yuki, because Super Evolution Mons, especially the Nat 4s, actually fill their SP bar a little bit quicker compared to Nat 5s. Nat 5s actually require, I think it's like an extra 12 or 8 souls to get their SP bar up when compared to a Nat 4 Super Evo. And so what that means is that you're not going to be able to get his ultimate evolution skill faster than a Light Yuki would. So in places like Arena, you're going to see the Light Yuki being the better option. But the Light Garuda can actually hit much harder than Light Yuki right now, thanks to his 10% bonus set from his new Ultimate Evolution Trinket set, and also because of his new Predator skill, ultimate skill there. So his 3-star skill is Shock, 80% chance for 2 turns, and then 5-star skill is also Shock, 80% chance for 2 turns. So that makes him essentially a worldwide stunner. And if you don't know, Shock essentially is a defense down and a stun. And Shock's defense down is only a 30% defense down, but you will definitely take notice of that Shock because that 30% defense down is huge in arenas. So that's why you see a lot of folks use Light Yuki in Arena, because it's essentially a stun and a defense down. So that's pretty much where the Light Garuda sits. I definitely like his aesthetic for the light one as well. I might just build the normal one. I don't think I'm going to make him a variant one because I notice he loses that blue on his wings, and I kind of really like the golden look of the wings there. So, but that's just my preference. Let me know which one is your personal preference. I would like to hear your guys' comments on his new form. I definitely like it very much. I think his wings could have been like a little bit more forward, you know, to really balance him out, make him look a little bit bigger, but I understand what they were going for here. So but anyways, as far as uses, really only Arena is where you want to use the Light Garuda. For 5-star active skill week, that's your best chance to utilize him, because you're going to have his skill up 100% of the time, you know, for that first turn. And with Predator being the ultimate skill, he's going to be hitting really freaking hard. So critical hits increase damage dealt by 25%. And so him being a light type means you're going to get his critical hit rate pretty high up, since you know, he already comes in with essentially 30% chance to crit. So or 20%, I think it's either 20 or 30%. I'll have to take a look again. But very good ultimate skill for a light double shocker here. So definitely make sure you guys enjoy building him, because he is definitely going to be rocking in arenas in the next couple of weeks for sure. I mean, I definitely saw at least a couple of whales already, who had him basically sitting in their boxes, pull for the trinkets, and then they brought him straight up to Super Evo. So, all right, so, or Ultimate Evo, I should say. All right, here's the Dark Garuda. Again, really, really nice with the aesthetics here. Probably has the best aesthetics right now in the game, I would say, next to probably somebody like the Dark Persephone. Very, very nice look. Even the dark one here looks really bomb. Really, really good. So, anyways, dark type is an attacker type. 31,000 HP, 4450 attack, 2900 defense, and 2600 recovery. So, two things to note here between the light and the dark. The dark one actually has almost the same amount of attack as the light one, and a slightly higher defense. So, but very low HP for the dark one as well. So the dark skills are basically double elemental edge. I already went over that, but essentially you have type advantage against everybody. However, that makes that skill pretty much useless against light types. So you're kind of giving and take on that. He's going to be better against Dark Astromon. He's going to be better against fire, water, and wood. And no real type advantage against the light one because he already has it. So, but anyways, the ultimate skill is stun. Critical hits have a 50% chance to stun the enemy for 1 turn. So that is actually a very, very good ultimate skill. Having a 100% chance to crit rate, or on a dark mon, and having a 50% chance to crit or to stun is really, really good, because if you maximize his crit rate and you can just do attack crit rate, that means you have almost a guaranteed or 50% chance to stun the enemy every single time. So him being a dark type, he's already going to be hitting really, really hard. It's going to be a really good set of skills for him, and I'm pretty hyped to try my luck and see if I pick him up, because I would prefer to have the dark one over the light one, just because world boss points, of course, going against the Vicha world boss, you're going to get more points from the dark one as well. So I'm just on this new goal to build Dark Astromon. Yeah, I would definitely love to use him and try him out in arena, especially during active week as well. I hate the fact that it is double elemental edge. Hopefully they decide to change it in the future, but for now he's staying this way, and because they did his ultimate evo exactly as how he is, they felt like he was balanced enough for now. Maybe in the next couple of months, if they do like a questionnaire about which Astromons we need to update, they will hopefully update the Garudas as well, because his skills do need to get changed. The dark one and the fire one are probably the two that need it the most. But yeah. So anyways, that's it for the wood Garudas, or for the Garudas, I should say. Don't forget to do his event. All you gotta do is log in every single day for 7 days, and you'll end up actually getting a 5-star Garuda selection card. Again, really, you want to pick the wood one. You want to get at least 2 of him built up. Yeah, good luck, guys. Make sure you guys log in. You have a whole 20 days left. So it looks like the event is actually going to finish sometime around the 20th of February. So I thought it was going to go until the 28th, but it looks like it's just only 20 days. I may have read that wrong, I guess, on the Facebook page. So there are 2 sets of quests here. There's going to be one for the week 1, and then another set of quests for week 2. You can kind of go down the list and figure out what they are, but they're all pretty easy to complete. The only ones that are going to be difficult for you guys is going to be the Ascend a 5-star Garuda of any Olenta 6-star. But if you get the card selector, you're going to get that off on the 7th day. Same thing for the trinkets. You should be able to get quite a few of those just by... Well, you should basically be getting the crystals, throughout the entire event. And if you get enough, you should have enough points to purchase the 5-star Garuda exclusive trinket. And then pray to RNG Jesus that you pick up his sword, or what's it called, the sword? The main trinket, because the trinket is going to give you the most attack power, I believe. So, and then here's the rest of the other quests. Again, you get a gleam there, you get a ton of some gems here, some gold, but really the biggest thing what you're going for is to complete them, to get those crystals, which you can then exchange for the trinket summon tickets. There's other things in here like gleams. If you're new, you definitely want to pick up that gleam as well, but I would say prioritize getting the guaranteed selection trinket first, and then of course the exclusive random ticket. For the 10 plus one, I would say 300 essences. You could probably pick that up on the second or the third week. You can only pick up one of those. I would highly recommend you pick up the Gleam first, because the Gleam can be purchased 3 times. So that give you 3 Gleams right there to get you Garuda to Evo 2. So take note of that. And then, you know, the rest of the stuff, you can purchase that once you're at the end of the month and you're like, okay, I got extra crystals, I can purchase that. So there you go. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like I said, don't feel like then you need to purchase this stuff. Garuda, I'm sure, will come back. His Primo Festival, I'm sure, will come back. Maybe, you know, in like 7 or 8 months is usually what their schedule is for Primo Festivals. So that will give you plenty of time to save for his next return. Again, him being a new Ultimate Evo, I do think they will bring him back around 7 or 8 months from now. So don't feel like you can't get him done right now. And, you know, if you can't get a light or a dark one, it's okay. He'll come back eventually is what I'm getting to. So anyways, guys, hopefully you find this video helpful. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next video. Take it easy, guys.